Hello, I'm Danny,
And I'm Jake.
and this is Marvel Talk. Welcome back, everybody, to a Marvel Talk episode. Not much excitement, I think, mainly because of the recent Marvel stuff that got announced, and Eternals happened. For the Marvel stuff, all it really was is just the Disney Plus shows and some JPEGs of logos.
Fandom's great. I really liked Fandom a lot. Disney Plus Day. Yeah, it's a thing, I guess.
I didn't
I
even know what
mean,
was going on until you said it earlier today.
yeah, not really advertised super well. I mean, I didn't really even know about it until like 3 or 4 days ago that it was a thing. Whereas DC Fandom had was advertised for like months. Like we like that got some pretty big hype. Um, and this just kind of came out of nowhere. I feel like, and it wasn't just about Marvel stuff. They had like some other stuff pop up, I guess. There's a Baymax show, which is technically Marvel, and that got like a full trailer. I haven't watched it yet. And then they kind of talked about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Um, but I guess like no trailer came out. Like everyone was expecting a teaser, but nothing. They didn't have anything.
Well, yeah, I just saw that one concept art piece of Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, there's a few concept art bits floating around. I saw like Vader in like a throne room looking at a hologram of I think Padme.
Hmm.
Could be. And then there's another image of like a bunch of stormtroopers in a hallway, and I was like, okay, it's a hallway with stormtroopers. And then the last one is Obi-Wan riding one of those Tatooine camel things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, it looks like Ewan McGregor with Tatooine stuff. So looking pretty much how I expect it to look. I was like, yep, that all looks good. It all looks good. But the Marvel stuff was I'm bored. I'm so bored. It's there's like no life or like excitement to any of it. It's kind of a bummer, to be perfectly honest. Because like when I started hearing about this whole deal, I was like, oh, this could be kind of cool. Maybe they'll actually like try and measure up to fandom and really like put out a bunch of content for it and stuff. And then the first thing that I saw this morning was just a graphic of like what 12 titles or whatever for new things, and it's just like, oh great.
We already knew about most of those anyway, right? So what's the point of rehashing it?
It doesn't make sense. Like it's like, yeah, we know they're coming out. Show something, anything. And they did show some stuff like that. There's a couple little teasers that came out. Nothing as extensive as anything at Fandom. Like no behind the scenes footage on anything. No teaser trailers, like full teasers. Like even the Flash had a longer teaser trailer than any of these things have, which is crazy because they said that wasn't a teaser trailer. Uh,
And the Flash is in less production than probably most of these shows, right?
yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why Marvel and Disney want to play all their stuff so close to the chest right now. Uh, if anything, I would be trying to advertise as much of this stuff as possible to build hype. It really doesn't make sense how they're doing this. I don't get it. I really don't understand.
So I guess at one point they showed off a sizzle reel with all the titles of the shows, and then there was some bits of clips here and there from behind the scenes stuff from stuff that already came out and new things. And then I guess they dropped like 30-second to a minute teasers of She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, and Moon Knight.
Yeah, She-Hulk is 19 seconds long.
Oh, that's even shorter than I thought. Okay.
This could barely be considered a teaser. It's like it's legitimately it's like a Super Bowl ad in length. Um, it's so short. Same with like like Moon Knight's at least like 30 seconds. They don't have anything to show for any of this. Like which is kind of crazy. I at least wish they had like footage of anything. Like, show me some concept art of like the X-Men cartoon show, right? Like, or the new Spider-Man cartoon. Like, you could show actual art from either of those, and that would be cool. Um,
I mean, I guess we got an idea of both of those. There was some art next to the logos, and for the X
yeah.
Men one, I mean, it's called X Men '97, and all I have to say is Marvel really likes to milk the '90s X Men team from the
Yeah.
cartoon because they did a bunch of comic runs like years ago, and one of them was X Men in the '90s, and it was all about them doing '90s stuff, and the art was just like the show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they're just doing it again in animated form.
Ah, cool. Well, and it sounds like it's a continuation of the original series, which I'm like, I don't even know where that left off. Didn't that have like a pretty, did it have an ending? Um,
You know, I'm not sure myself either, and I think the comic run that was recent also kind of did that. It was like a
huh.
retreading, retelling kind of thing. It's like I get it, that was a good era of X Men, but you know, to
Yeah.
keep doing it over and over again is a little too much, man.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And then I guess for the Spider-Man thing, it's going to be an animated show, which is going to be talking about Peter Parker's freshman year, which I don't think we even need, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't really get is it supposed to be the MCU Spider-Man or is it just
Yes.
a Spider?
No,
Okay.
it's Tom Holland Spider-Man. They said it's
Oh,
going to be canon, and it's going to be exploring themes from the comics, but it's also going
okay.
to be in continuity with the MCU.
All right. I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. Oh my God, you think they're gonna have an animated scene of Tony Stark like landing in front of him while he's in the Iron Man helmet?
Oh, I wouldn't bet on that. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
They don't have like a little flashback moment? I don't know. That could be a thing they could use to tie it all together.
Yeah, I saw people speculating that maybe we're going to see Uncle Ben in this.
I guess it would be kind of interesting to see how this Peter Parker actually got bit by a spider and stuff. And like, because obviously it happened much earlier to this Peter than to like someone like Tobey Maguire or like Andrew Garfield Spider Man even.
Right.
So maybe it'll lead up to that in some way. So that could be kind of neat. I don't know because I was always kind of curious about how this guy got his powers, and they never really explained it. You just kind of have to assume uh, that what happened happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I kind of liked about how they tackled it in Civil War. It's like we don't really need to get in full detail of what happened. It's you get a clear understanding.
Everybody's like, it's Spider Man. You know him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll meet. We'll see how he met Ned for the first time and how they became best friends or something.
Yeah, probably. Maybe how he knows Flash. A little bit of that, probably.
Yeah, maybe MJ will be in there or something.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know how that's because don't they all go to like some tech school thing?
It's like a private school essentially.
Yeah, but he doesn't go to that until after Stark, right?
No, he goes there. I mean, I guess we don't know what school he goes to in Civil War, but I'm pretty sure it's that
Yeah,
one.
that's what I was wondering. Because I was like, I don't know. They don't really. That's not really well explained, is it? Uh,
Well, I mean,
huh.
is it not Civil War like Peter fixes old computers and stuff, and maybe that's his way of getting money to help pay for the tuition?
Oh yeah, I guess that could be a thing.
Yeah.
Like he like dumpster dives to like get computer equipment and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Peter Parker in Civil War was actually Peter Parker. He was down on his luck.
So that I mean that show might be all right. Um,
Yeah, that could be kind of interesting.
and then we
Um,
they confirmed Agatha is getting her own spinoff called Agatha House of Harkness, which
I can't care about any of this until
yeah.
it's actually like there's no footage. It doesn't count. I'm just gonna say right now, I'm not talking about anything that doesn't really have footage because it's cool that it's happening, but I can't really bring myself to have any hype for anything I can't actually see. I'm done with that nonsense.
Yeah, a lot of weird picks. I mean, I am Groot. I guess that's just gonna be a fun kid thing, right? Where it's him as baby Groot.
Yeah, I guess.
Marvel Zombies is gonna be its own thing now, so I guess they'll fix it from what If did, right?
Maybe. I mean, the teaser image they show is what if Wanda. So,
Oh, that's right, huh? Yeah.
yeah.
Well, never mind.
Yep. Yeah. So it'll probably just be a continuation of that. We'll probably see what happens after they go to find Thanos or whatever.
And then, yeah, old Nick Fury for half a second here for a secret
Yeah.
invasion.
The most laughable part of the entire thing. So, it's like, yeah, all right, secret invasion teaser, and it's over.
I mean, honestly, the only thing I liked, I guess, out of this was the Moon Knight clip.
Yeah, the Moon Knight one was pretty good. I think it confirms pretty much that image that was leaked is going to be the costume, because that definitely looks like the hallway where he's beating up the dude in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my only thing I'm thinking about with all these is what are they waiting for trailer-wise for this to drop? Because we're already at the end of the year, and I'm sure these are coming out next year, but if you're going to have a streaming event like this, why not have them post full-on trailers?
Yeah, I don't... This whole thing feels like such a tease, and I don't really get why. Like, just show stuff, man. Like, the Book of Boba Fett trailer was great. And that wasn't connected to this at all. It happened like a week ago. And it was awesome. So I don't really get why they're just pulling back so hard on this stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. It feels like they're still trying to do like Comic-Con levels of teasing without a Comic-Con happening. But that it doesn't work anymore like this because I just, we're not in that venue, and like other companies are running this stuff a lot better than it feels like Marvel is on the hype train stuff. Like all the DC stuff and even Sony putting out full trailers for stuff is doing better.
Yeah, it really feels like they just dropped the ball on this one. They got this out like just to rush. Like, well, we got to do something, I guess. And I'd rather if they didn't.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm like either release some footage or just don't do it at all. Like it just feels like such a waste of time. I don't know.
Yeah, so hopefully they could get their bearings and we could get something next year, I guess.
That would be cool.
But enough about all that TV stuff, man. Like you said, Sony did drop a trailer, and it was for Morbius.
Yes, we finally got another look at the film, and holy moly, I love it, man. This movie's looking really good. The visuals on it are pretty amazing. I gotta say, I really like the style they're going for.
Yeah, I really like the trailer, man. It sold me more for the movie. Just like the aesthetic they're going with, the type of storytelling they're doing. It's not a copy-paste kind of thing that we're going to be seeing.
Yeah, like this isn't just like a Venom clone. Like it's got a totally different feel, a lot darker tone, which it should, because this is a lot spookier of a story about a vampire man.
Yeah, it's also going to be interesting because, I mean, as far with this trailer, there's no indication of a villain he's going to be fighting, right? It's almost like it's his perspective, but he's the villain of the story. So that part's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I really feel like Venom, like, he's sort of villainous, but ultimately he's a hero by the end of the film. I feel like this is going to be a lot more on the villain side of stuff. Like Morbius will be a bad guy.
Yeah, so that's going to be cool to check out. And man, we finally get a full look at his face.
Oh, it's so cool. It looks just like how it should in live action, man. I love it. Also, Tyrese Gibson's in this movie, which I was like, oh, that's weird.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
who's he playing? He's got like a robot arm at some point, too. like in the trailer, and I was like, what? Who is he? So I'm curious if he's like some other guy that's like a bigger comic book guy that I don't really know. He's playing a guy named Simon Stroud. Oh, he's a cop. Tried to hunt down Morbius, like the vampire, and he's like teamed up with Black Widow. He hasn't done a whole lot of other stuff though, so he's kind of a deep cut Marvel character. That's kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, they got to pick who they can use, right, in the Sony universe. Yep. So.
Oh, interesting. Stroud's connected with Kraven the Hunter also.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
So Tyrese might be a link up between those two, potentially. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I can see that at the end of at the end of the Kraven movie, he goes to him and says like, "Hey, I need you to hunt this guy down."
Yeah.
And it's Morbius.
That would be kind of neat. Have Morbius be the villain for the Kraven movie. That could be kind of cool. Oscorp Tower is just all up in the city shot here in the Morbius trailer. It's just right there. It doesn't look like the Amazing Spider-Man version, but it's definitely says Oscorp on it, so that's cool.
And then there was a newspaper he was reading, which mentioned it was two things on the top. One was about Black Cat.
Yeah, and then the other one was about a rhino. I don't know if it's about the rhino. It sounds like it's just a rhino because it's talking about. Okay, here it is. Finding the truth. No. Rhino on the loose. Zoo hoax fools us all. So it's like I can't tell if it's about an actual rhino or if it's the villain rhino. Yeah. I don't know.
Is it Paul Giamatti? That's what I
Yeah, right?
know.
Is it going to be him? Is he going to pop up? I need Russian Paul Giamatti back, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been the big thing with this trailer, is that there's all that stuff. There's, of course, we get the scene again with the Spider-Man painting on the wall. The new scene with Michael Keaton when he says, "Hey, we should keep in touch."
Yep.
Yeah, so interesting stuff here, man. This is coming out, what was it, February?
I think so. There's another part here that I was like, oh, what was that about? Matt Smith is in this movie. Like, he shows up at 2:02. He's, like, walking down a hallway. And I'm like, who's he? Like, like, who's he gonna play? Like, he's not in any of the rest of the trailer. He's just in that one shot. Which I was like, who's he supposed to be in the movie? Loxius Crown?
Whew, that sounds like a deep cut name if I ever heard one.
He's a villain known as Hunger. Oh yeah, he is a vampire. He's another vampire. Okay.
Oh, so Morbius is going to be fighting another vampire.
Yeah, and then this guy also has fought Blade. That's kind of interesting.
So maybe he's the first person to get the vampire powers?
That could be. Like maybe Jared Leto gets the vampire powers from this guy somehow or something. So this guy will probably be the villain, I would imagine. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, because I was like, who the heck is Matt Smith playing in this movie? But him walking down the hallway like that, yeah, definitely looks like another vampire. You think Jared Leto's going to get arrested wrongly for killing a lot of people when it's actually the other guy killing a lot of people?
Well, yeah, Morbius is definitely being on the hunt in the...
I love that little doctor line he has at the end where he like scares the crap out of the guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great little moment. Really shows some good like personality with his character. I don't know. This just looks really fun. Looks like a good time. Doesn't look super silly, and it looks like it's taking the subject matter pretty seriously because it is vampire stuff, and I like it when that stuff's a little more on the serious side because it can be a little scary.
So there is a shot in the trailer where somebody's opening like a, I guess sarcophagus, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
So that might be where that other vampire comes in.
Oh, maybe Matt Smith comes out of the coffin.
Yeah, and I gotta say the CG with Morbius turning into the vampire form, it still looks pretty good.
I think it looks pretty decent. And I really like I said, I like all the effects of like how he like uses sonar and like can sense airwaves and stuff.
Yeah, it's such like an early 2000s effect.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Uh, yeah, I guess like the Daredevil movie had it.
Yeah. It's almost like there's like paint streaking going on with some of it too, like when he's like flying around and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And I love that he can control bats. Like that's so cool. Like he just has command of like hundreds of thousands of bats. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty neat power, man. That's cool. Also great use of the doors and the music there. Pretty good stuff. Like this trailer is hype, man. Oh, it's good. It's great stuff.
Nice. Yeah, so it's actually going to be in January, not February.
Oh, that's cool.
This is going to be coming out.
Even better.
Yeah, I think I was talking to the boy Shelby over here. I'm curious to see what they changed because they did do some reshoots, right?
Yeah.
And of course, with the shifting of the schedule, Venom's now in the MCU.
And this was supposed to be before Venom too. That's like a pretty big deal that this got shifted around. So I don't know. We'll have to see how much got swapped.
Yeah, it's gonna be curious, man.
Yep.
I think other than that, there really wasn't any other Marvel stuff that came out.
Yeah, just a video game deal.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We were just talking.
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
linked with what we were just talking about. The Spider-Man trailer for the Avengers game it's finally happening. Like 2 years later, they're finally releasing the Spider-Man to the game. And it looks all right. Like most of the rest of the game. It would have been cool to see a new enemy type in this trailer, but nope. It's just guys. Like normal.
Yeah, I mean the suit looks good, and the only thing I'm kind of bummed out about is that it's not our boy from the Spider-Man game.
Yeah, that would have been a good way to have a crossover, like having Yuri Lowenthal come back for this one would have been nice.
Yeah, because this guy, it sounds like he's trying to get that charisma in there, but he just sounds so young, and it just doesn't. I don't think it really fits too much with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I do love how they use the spider sense in this, though. That he's just like dodging punches, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that's really all I have to say because I still haven't played that game.
I'm still of the opinion that Peter Parker should have just been the main character of this game in the first place. Because it's sort of what Miss Marvel is like she's just like a person who lives in the world of the Avengers and Marvel and stuff, and then gains powers through a science accident at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Disney didn't want that because Insomniac's already doing that.
Yeah, it's true. They're like, we got to do a different character.
So, right, man. Actually, before we hit Eternals, I did want to bring this up on DC's end. David Ayer is doing some stuff on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, his little release of that new image there of the villain.
Yeah, Incubus. We got a look at what his version was going to be, I guess.
Man, that is like Zack Snyder levels of design difference, isn't it?
Yeah. The Steppenwolf effect is really apparent with this
one. It's almost like the studio turned all of their big alien-looking villains into dummies.
Yeah. Yes, Incubus, he looks really great, and he looks I think it makes sense he would look like this for Ayer's version because we have Diablo, and when he goes full monster form, it looks like something that would match with that.
Yep. This thing also looks a lot more like just like an Arbiter type of thing. Like I love that all the metal stuff looks like energy shielding around him rather than like it reminds me a lot of Steppenwolf and his armor.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. I like the design a lot. I don't know. I'm curious what this would have looked like in motion.
It kind of fits with the introduction of Enchantress as well, aesthetically wise.
Yeah, I agree. Like a lot more just like dark and gritty. It's really cool. I really wish that we got to see this in the movie. The other thing he released, I don't really it's a Harley Quinn design that's kind of whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually like it. I think I could have seen this one in the movie rather than the one we got.
Yeah, Would have been interesting.
I mean, definitely the hair and the way the makeup is on her eyes.
Yeah, I think
I like a
I
lot.
think I would have liked that stuff combined with some elements of the final costume. Like, I dig the jacket on the final costume a lot, which it looks like it is on there. Uh,
Yeah, she has like some version of
yeah,
it.
she's got a jacket on right there. I mean, I'm always just partial to get something a little bit closer to the original suit, but I think they're too afraid to do just the Jester outfit for some reason.
Well, we did get it in that one scene.
Yeah, doesn't count. I need a full performance in that thing, man. Like, I'd love to see just like one scene where she's like in a bank heist, like in the costume. You know, like that would be cool. Like,
yeah,
I think that would satisfy. But overall, it's cool that he's still just releasing little bits and pieces here. He's like, nope, I'm still talking about it.
Did you see this questionable Joker one he released?
What was that?
No. Okay. It's not Jared Leto.
Oh?
At least I don't think it is. His face is too full. Here, I'll post it on Discord.
Oh, yeah, send it over. I want to see.
But yeah, I guess this was like a test look for what they wanted to do with his Joker. And same idea, tattoos.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh my god, it could have been so much worse. Oh my god. What's up with the eyebrows?
They're the ha-ha-has.
Oh no.
For his eyebrows.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. Oh no, it's like a nightmare. I don't like it. That's haunting.
Yeah.
That's gonna be burned into my brain. Oh my god.
Yeah, I first saw I'm like, that doesn't even look real. This looks like a parody.
Yeah.
But there is a photo on set of Jared Leto, and he's already in the final look that he has.
Okay.
But there's a guy standing next to him with a laptop open, and that image is right there on the laptop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's just a weird one.
Oh,
man.
Boy. Oh, David Ayer released another image that's just got a bunch of different Harley Quinn outfit looks.
Yeah, I saw there was a second one that looks closer to what we got in the movie.
There's like, this one has like 8 of them. And then it's got like jackets on the top and some other concept-y kind of stuff at the bottom. Interesting. That's pretty neat. But that Joker design, oof, that's yikes.
Yeah, that's like here's the concept. Where do we go from here, kind of thing.
Yeah, we don't do that. That's where we go from here. I don't.
Yeah, I was. Okay, yeah, I seen one of these outfits that's in this link you sent.
Yeah, some of these outfits straight up look like they could be from a porno. I'm like, whoa.
Oh yeah, those bottom ones, yeah.
Interesting ideas. Unless this is just to show like the different layers off or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, some early concept of the jacket up top. Okay.
Yep. So kind of neat, some cool stuff going on. I like that Ayer's just slowly like building up the hype. He's like, yeah, maybe people will want it. We'll see.
Yeah, it's wild to see. Aircut is still, got some legs on Twitter. It's crazy.
Still trending. There you go.
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be some shake-up stuff going on. I don't know.
Oh, that's cool. We got there's some looks at some of Joker's weapons.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, so there's just a hammer. It has ha 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 on it. A nice 9mm that's purple.
Oh, that's cool.
The handle's white and it has the Joker emblem on it. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty dope.
And then an old school barber's blade.
Ooh.
And it has the smile on there and it says the Gotham Blade Company on it.
Ooh. Spooky.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's all stuff I would have liked to have seen more of in the movie. I love that Ayer replies to pictures of Harley Quinn outfits from his movie.
Mm-hmm. But I think that was it as far as like whatever new stuff we got with Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything else other than that. It's just neat to see. Neat to see some more stuff pop up about it.
Here's a picture of Joker on the set for the Purple Lamborghini music video.
Oh my God. I saw a Twitter post about that. That's like, remember when Joker was just in a music video with real people? Wasn't that weird?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was a weird way to promote the movie.
Oh, right. There was a shot of Harley Quinn getting her mugshot multiple times in different outfits, implying that she always took the fall for Joker.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because the sign that she holds up with her name on it has different dates as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, one of them, she's wearing that outfit in one of the concepts.
All right.
You know, because I've said before, I don't think there's no way we're gonna get the Ayer cut, but you know, I'd be happy if we could still just get all this stuff from David Ayer himself.
Yeah, that's totally cool. Like, the fact that he's even able to release this stuff is neat. And it's not something you would ever see coming from another comic book company these days, obviously.
No.
So it's just, it's cool to be able to see behind the curtain a little bit and see some of the development stuff. It's just fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I think with that, man, we could go ahead and dive into Marvel's Eternals.
I just want to preface, I'm not trying to shill, but the premiere itself was cool. Had a great time. Seeing all the actors and stuff was really cool. But yeah, this movie kind of sucks. A lot.
Yeah, so this is a 2-hour and 37-minute movie. And my thought coming out of the theater was, you can probably cut this movie in half and it would be a lot better.
Yeah.
There's some restructuring would definitely be helpful as well. The only good thing of the movie, I think, is some of the characters and just the way they can play off of each other and the way the actors handle the script. But the movie as a whole, yeah, it's just not interesting. My biggest problem with Eternals is that it just feels lost. It doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's trying to do too many things. I don't know why this was a movie. You know how, like, I've said about a couple of the Disney Plus shows that they should have been movies, and they feel like they've been stretched into shows? This is the opposite of that. This feels like it was pitched as a show, and then it became a movie. Much like another team of Marvel heroes that happened a few years back that also had a pretty lukewarm reception.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember the Inhumans. This feels like
Inhumans.
Inhumans,
right.
yes. Yeah.
They're talking about Defenders.
Yeah, no, that too.
I forgot Inhumans happened.
Yeah.
I always forget.
Oh, but see, Defenders had like good parts before Defenders. You know, like they had a lead up. All the characters had their own show. Remember, like you know, there was a good Daredevil show. Established his character, told us who he was. Luke Cage got pretty good show stuff. Jessica Jones. We don't have to talk about the other guy. But yeah, Inhumans. This feels the most like that. But what's crazy is Inhumans had a whole show and it was still terrible. This just has one movie and it's also terrible. So maybe there is no good way to do this kind of thing. I don't know.
I think they could have pulled the Snyder cut here where you have a black title and it says what part we're on.
Yeah,
in the film, and that could have helped with the pacing.
I think that would have been cool.
You can also adjust the pacing in between those title cards, so that way, it just doesn't feel like it drags on in certain areas.
Oh my gosh, yeah, this is one of the slowest Marvel movies I think I've ever seen. Boy, did it feel like 2.5 hours.
It's a long movie up until the end, right? That's where they're like, oh, we have to get the obligatory action sequences.
Oh, the movie's ending. Oh, we forgot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, there's not another episode. Oh yeah, no, this is the end of the movie. Oh, oops. Yeah, it wraps up really quick. It's very weird. I don't know. I don't know how much more I can talk about this movie without getting into the spoilers of it, you know? Because there's a lot of good spoilery stuff. But I think overall, this movie had too many people. There's too many people in this movie.
It is a big cast, and if they would have just reeled back on some of them, because there's some characters that don't get an extensive backstory like
Yeah,
the others, right? Because there's obviously with an ensemble cast, there's gonna be the main ones that we
yeah,
focus on, and if we could have just trimmed that down to maybe just three of them, really,
yep,
and then everybody else is kind of there, and they get like maybe one scene where you just say one sentence, and you're like, that's what that character's all about. That's fine.
yeah. Instead, it was like, uh, everybody had to have a scene, and everybody had to have their backstory. Like every single character. Oh my god.
Yeah, I would say so. I wouldn't recommend this, but if you do want to watch it, just get a cheap ticket price. One
Yeah.
of the early morning
Or,
show times.
you know, just wait a month and a half and it'll probably be on Disney Plus for free. Because that's about how long it took Shang-Chi to get onto Disney Plus. So I can't imagine
Right.
this taking as long as that. Uh, yeah, I wouldn't recommend this either. I don't know how it's connected to anything else either. This doesn't. I don't understand how this sets up for anything. So in terms of the overall MCU, I don't really think you need to watch it right now. Maybe come back and watch it later. I don't know, because I don't see how this connects to anything. Um,
Yeah, well, that's the problem, right? I was talking to Shelby about it, and he was like, "So when does so and so show up?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? They don't do that." It's like,
yeah,
yeah,
nobody's in this movie. Like, like nobody
yeah, like
important.
you can pluck out the Thanos line, and you could set this almost anywhere in the MCU.
Yeah, or not even in the MCU. This
Yeah, that
it's
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it's connected very much at all. Um,
yeah, because it's just there's the Thanos line, there's the who's going to lead the Avengers line that we got in the trailer,
yeah. We
and
do not get the or the Eternals assemble line in the movie. I actually looked into that because
oh, that's right,
I
yeah,
didn't remember it being in the film, and that's because it's not. Uh, it's only in
one
the
of those trailer
trailer.
only things.
Yeah,
Okay,
and apparently there's a lot of other scenes from the trailers that just aren't in the movie. And I don't really care about figuring out which ones they are because I didn't really like this movie that much to do that. So yeah, um, I don't know. Is this movie gonna get a Zao cut at some point? That's like 3.5 hours long, maybe. Uh, and that could be neat. Maybe that would fix a lot of the pacing issues. I don't know. But I don't think it would help that much. I just don't think I care about any of the characters or any of what's going on in the movie that much. It's to the point that I
yeah,
only really remember the actors' names, not the characters, and that's not a good way of. And that doesn't really bode well if I don't remember that stuff. And you know what? Your mileage may vary. I think that's a big thing with this movie because I've seen some people who really dig it, and I'm like, good for you.
mm-hmm,
That's cool.
yeah,
And they also dig a lot of other not so great Marvel movies, and that's fine. You know what? I'm not here to poo poo on your parade. If you like this movie, good for you. I'm just stating my opinions. I didn't like it. um. So yeah, I don't know. I would not recommend it. Um, I don't think you need to go see it, like at all.
no, not really. I mean, and the only positives besides some of the actors is I mean, the fight scenes were fine.
Yeah, they're all
I
right.
thought, yeah,
I do like it visually. I think visually it's neat. It looks a lot different than any other Marvel movie, which is cool.
yeah, that's true.
It's not
Yeah,
just sterile buildings and warehouses and gray backdrops. I mean, mostly not gray backdrops. Some of it is. Um, but you know, I thought the locations were pretty varied. We
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of good sort of set pieces. I wouldn't really say set pieces. I think just visually the movie looked interesting. And I think it's because Chloe Zhao and her director of photography both have a really good eye for landscapes and making stuff look good, a la Nomadland. That's
Yeah.
she's really good at that, and that's cool. And I think that gives this movie its own visual style. Uh, but none of that connects to the story at all. Um,
No, that I
it's
think
like
that's the problem
it's
is the
all just
story.
it's not in service of the story. It's just in addition to it.
Well, I mean, the locations is to round up the Eternals. That's really it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and like the final act location could kind of just really be anywhere.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't even remember where it was at. It's an island, I
it's an
guess.
island. Yeah.
It's, yeah, I don't even. I don't know. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. That's. Oh my gosh, this movie is frustrating. Um.
So all right, are we ready to hop into some spoilers here for
Yeah.
this one?
So overall thoughts. I don't. Yeah. We got it. If you don't want spoilers for anything, don't listen anymore. We're probably going to trash and question a lot of things about this. I barely remember the order of things in this movie because it was so all over the place. So I might be a little scatterbrained. I didn't write any notes down. I'm just going to go off of what I remember. I'm going to talk about the good stuff first, though. Dane Whitman. Everything about Dane Whitman is great. I love how they're setting up his character. I wish he was actually in the movie.
My gosh, yeah.
Yeah, but I love I everything getting set up with him's great. The ring showed up, and I was like, there it is. There's the seal, the crest, and I was like, that's awesome. Um, and then like I'm just gonna skip right to the post credit scene for this one because they show the sword. The ebony blade is there. It's got creepy, weird, ripply stuff that tries to reach out and touch him like a sort of like a symbiote, which I thought was kind of neat. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then he doesn't even pick it up. He doesn't even touch it. It's like, oh man, come on. uh,
Yeah,
um,
instead we get a voice talking to him, which Chloe Zhao actually confirmed it
it's
being
yeah,
Blade.
it's Blade. Yeah, which that's a good that's a good crossover. Blade and Black Knight makes
Yeah.
sense. Like that pairing, I'm down for because Black Knight. His whole thing is that like the Ebony Blade is basically the antithesis to Mjolnir. Like Mjolnir is all about positivity and being like worthy of heart and stuff. And the Ebony Blade is like you can use me and I get more powerful the more angry and sad you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, Dane Whitman's in a pretty good position to use that because the lady he loved just got stolen by a giant spaceman. So I think he's ready for the blade. Um,
Yeah.
but now it makes me worried that like he's gonna be hanging out with Blade for like a movie first before he goes to do anything about getting Cersei back. I don't know. I'm
Well, I mean,
this
getting Cersei back's Eternals too, right?
I guess I don't know. I honestly I don't know where this is gonna go. There could be like 3 different movies that spin off of this one. And I think that's one of my problems with this movie. Is it's got the Iron Man 2 problem, where it's like we gotta have a movie, but we also gotta set up for all the other movies.
Well, I mean, if Black Knight gets his movie, then yeah, there's that. But I think it's pretty clear cut that Thanos' brother's helping them fix this problem they
Oh, and
caused
that's
with
a
the
whole nother
Celestial.
thing. The Thanos' brother deal. I don't understand anymore. I don't. What is Thanos' origin? I don't understand. Are they just forgetting about what he talked about in Infinity War? Does that just not matter? I don't get it.
I
Like,
think it's them trying to clean up what happened when they brought up Thanos being a deviant and all that stuff prior to this movie.
I guess.
Um,
I,
I mean,
but that doesn't even
if
make any sense. I don't know. You know what? I'm just not even gonna care because I don't even know if this movie is getting any sequel anytime soon, because it's not in their 1,000 list of title cards. So,
Well, I mean, there's still like I think 4 untitled MCU movies in
oh,
like
are
the next
there?
4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't be surprised just because of the casting, the director. Um, yeah, I don't know. I would be surprised if an MCU movie didn't get a sequel at least once.
yeah. I don't know if Chloe Zhao will be back for the second one. I think she said something about like this was a big job, and I don't know if I'd do another. Like I think I read that somewhere, but I could be wrong. Um,
Okay, yeah.
like
I mean, that makes sense though, right? This is like really her first big
yeah,
project.
and she's like an indie director. She's only done like 3 other
Right.
movies, and I'm like, I'd
Yeah.
be pretty stressed out if I had done like 3 movies and then Marvel came to me to make one of their movies. I'd be wigged out, and then have it not maybe turn out so good. I don't know. I'd probably back away a little bit. I'd be like, I don't think I want to do another one. That's okay. Like that's
Yeah.
fine. Um, and I don't know how much of this movie was studio mandated stuff. And compared to decisions made by Chloe, I honestly think it's a higher up issue than just her. Because she's a good director. Like she knows what she's doing behind a camera. She knows how to make a movie.
Yeah.
Um, she ain't no dummy, you know? So I don't lay any of the blame for this movie having a lot of problems on her at all. I 100% lay it on the hands of like higher up producers and stuff.
Yeah, I would just say just probably the editing department.
That
Um,
majorly, yeah.
because I don't think there's anything in the writing to me that screamed like, "Oh, this is an MCU mandated thing
I
that's
think
going
I think
on."
honestly it's not it's just the deviance for me. I think that's the biggest thing that feels like a studio mandate deal. Like they gotta have
Well,
something to fight. Like you gotta
that's the
have fight
problem though, right?
scenes.
Because when we get to the third act, you literally do not care about the deviants at all. Like you could pull the deviants out and it would be fine.
Yeah, it's super weird. I don't get it.
Yeah. That's my biggest problem with this movie is how they tackled the deviants because they're kind of there and they built up one special deviant that absorbed Salma Hayek's powers and is getting more and more sentient when it absorbs other powers.
And it seems
And
that's a cool concept. That's neat. That's a neat idea. It goes nowhere.
yeah,
Goes
yeah, and like I laughed in the theater when just literally out of nowhere the deviant started talking in a voice that I would never expect that kind of creature to have.
it's so
And
funny.
saying it says it wants revenge for all the killing the Eternals have done to its kind,
And
and they
then
just want to live.
And then also like it wants revenge on the Celestials for just being made brainless or something. It's very amorphous, like what the motivations of this thing are. Um
Yeah, and then it dies off in a cave outside of the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
Like it's just Jolie killing it.
and like I guess it's supposed to be like a reference to the comic books of Thena and Crow being like an item somehow, but it's like the
Okay.
weakest reference because there's nothing there. Like it would be I thought what the twist was going to be was they were going to be like, "Oh, all of the deviants were Eternals at one point." But they're Eternals that decided to turn on the Celestials, so the Celestials mutated them into these things, and turned them into brainless killing machines or something, and just
I
told
mean, they
other
are
Eternals to wipe them
technically
out. You know?
they are. I mean, that technically is right, except for the mutation part.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's how they explain it. That like they were things created to kill, more like deadly creatures on the planets that they needed the intelligent life to grow on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's how the Celestial explains it to Cersei is that they had to kill off predators so that way, yeah, intelligent life could grow, so they could harvest the energy of intelligent life to create new Celestials on those planets.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but then the deviants got out of hand They could no longer be controlled by the Eternal or by the Celestials, so they created the Eternals to go kill them.
Yeah. But that's basically what the Eternals do. Anyway, is they handle a planet and help the intelligent life become the strongest thing there. Even though they're not supposed to interfere, but they still do. Like, that's the thing with...
Well, they're not supposed to interfere with war and conflict.
But they do, because Fastos creates the atom bomb.
That was the weird part where he said they used my technology.
Yeah,
which
like,
I guess
I don't. It's
that
like that doesn't
I don't
count.
know if it implies.
Like,
I don't think it implies he made the atom bomb.
But he's there, in a scientist outfit, like at the ground zero where it happens.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a scientist outfit. I would say that it was because of the technology he provided for humans, they were able to create the atom bomb.
I mean, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed like he had a pretty direct hand in it, but like from his reaction and everything, I don't know.
I don't know, because he, out of all the Eternals, only one of them was really keen on interfering with the humans, and then that was the guy that could control minds.
But like they all had a thing with interfering with humans, because freaking Kumail's character becomes like a Bollywood star, and like Cersei's like a world class like biologist at a huge college, like Cambridge level. Like they're all like very involved in human life.
Yeah, but they're not influencing. That's the big thing. They're not changing the course of human history.
Being a guy who stars in multiple movies and in Bollywood and becomes like the number one star of the country and steals money from literally everyone, even though he doesn't need it, by being in these Bollywood movies, I'd say that's pretty interferent. You know?
I would disagree. I think it's just him being an actor. Yeah, because Salma Hayek does say, "Go live your lives," and it's not like him being a Bollywood star is gonna really affect anything that they're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just was interesting. The sort of like I didn't really understand where the line was. You know?
It was war and conflict, and it's actually said at the start of the third act. What was his name? Would you say Phomos or whatever?
Fastos.
Fastos said the reason why we couldn't interact with war and conflict is because that accelerates medicine and technology, and thus advances intelligent life even further.
Yeah.
So that everything else is kind of pretty much okay, like because we see them help with agriculture and all that.
Yeah.
In the early years when there were still deviants around.
So I gotta say, I also thought like how the team was structured was really weird. Like none of them knew each other before they were on the spaceship. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because they're just sent on missions.
Yeah, I guess they're just
as Eternals.
Oh yeah, and they're like robots who get their brains reset. So like, which is the weirdest twist of the movie. It's so strange.
Well, they get their memories stolen from each planet, so that way the Celestials can study the deviants, which that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. Like, God, this movie's so confusing. It makes my brain hurt trying to think about it.
I think this movie is being overcomplicated for no reason. That's the problem.
Yeah, there's just so much going on, and like, I don't. Okay, like, I don't. Oh my God, my brain is like dying right now. It's glitching out. I can't think about this movie. I feel like Angelina Jolie with her brain problems. Oh my God, where do we go? What do we even talk about? With
my main plot, the main plot of the movie was, I think, just terrible of how Cersei's like, okay, let's get everybody together. Let's try to figure out how are we going to stop these deviants. And then she learns from the Celestial that, it's time for the new Celestial to be born. So the planet's going to get destroyed and all of humanity's gone. And now she says, okay, we have to figure out a way to stop it until we can figure out what to do. And it's just such a bad plot to focus on for the rest of the movie until the final fight.
It's so okay. So I love this is my problem with this movie is I really like ideas that they have and then they just lose the ideas really fast. So I love the idea of this movie being like a murder mystery plot. One of the Eternals has been killed and they're like, no one can kill an Eternal. Who killed him? It's very Watchmen-esque, right? Like, who killed the comedian? We got to figure out what's going on. There's a plot. And in theory, I love that it's one of the Eternals that killed Salma Hayek's character. Love that idea. It's great that, like, one of the Eternals decided to betray the other ones, which could feed into the Deviant plot, you know? Like, that's a perfect setup to have one of the Eternals be a Deviant or whatever. Like... But they tried to make the Deviants be something else. I don't really... It's like... And then it falls apart because they lose it because they're trying to tell another story, which is the Celestials are the ones betraying everybody because they just blow up planets that have Celestials incubating inside them. Which is literally the plot of Transformers 5. It's the stupidest thing. It's like, if you're going to pull a plot from something, don't pull from Transformers. Like, don't do that. Like, I love Transformers, but not the movies so much. That's not a good place to go to for reference. Holy moly. What a bad time.
Yeah, I would say with the Deviants, what I would have wanted is that if Icarus, who is the one that betrays... Well, not betrays them, but the one that's against stopping the Celestials from being born, if he was controlling the Deviants, I think that would have been a lot better than just having them loose.
Yeah, see, that something like that would have been better. Like, if he was actually in control of them, or if he was... I thought what would have been a great twist is him and Sprite are ultimately the ones who have teamed up. Like, Icarus has been talking to Sprite behind Cersei's back, and Sprite is helping him disguise himself as a deviant when all of these attacks happen. So it's not actually a deviant doing all these things, it's Icarus doing it. So that way there's even more, like, reason for him to be moody and throw himself into the sun at the end of the movie, which makes no sense.
I thought he just flew to a different planet or something.
No, like, he flies into the sun.
No, but when he flew away, I was like, oh, he's just leaving, like...
See, I thought he was going to go fight the
Omni-Man.
Celestials. Like, I thought he was just going to straight up go, like, Optimus Prime mode and be like, I'm going to take him on. Here I go. But nope. Decided to just fly into the sun, I guess.
Yeah, that was, I guess, because he has nowhere to go now. Because his character type, right, is I'm sticking to the mission. I am that soldier. You know, whatever you say, boss, I will do it.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're going against what our mission is. I can't do that. We serve the Celestials. I have no other meaning in life. Now that's gone. I betrayed them. Now I can't be with the woman I love anymore either. I'm just gonna kill myself. What I guess I had to go.
He is the true robot, the true NPC of the movie. Man, what a terrible way for his story to end. Like, I don't know. It shows how much they really like Superman, right? It's pretty cool how much they really like Superman.
I think my favorite parts of the movie just had to be like the early stuff, the downtime moments. I think when they finally got to Jolie and the other character, that were just like in the middle of the desert.
Oh yeah, that whole bit was great. I actually really liked a
Yeah.
lot of that, where they're just like in that little cabin and talking and chatting. Um, I do wish it was a little less jokey, considering what they're there for. Um, the fact that their boss just died, like their mother figure, uh, and everybody's really happy and jokey and having a great time. And I'm like, somebody did just die. I don't know. Somebody you guys all knew for thousands of years.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like no emotion put towards it at all. It's very weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like the big reunion kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they're missing one person, but it's not like he was a positive guy in the group, anyways.
Oh no, I'm talking about Salma Hayek's character.
No. But it's like, no, I'm saying like that scene is them all reuniting together after 500 years, minus the guy in Mexico that could control minds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I guess there's that, like they're just joking around. They're trying to distract themselves from what happened, kind of thing.
Yeah, it just would have been nice for one of the characters to have, like, I'm thinking back to like the dinner scene in Black Widow, right? Where like that scene starts off like that, and then Yelena is just like, I ain't having this. Like, y'all suck. Like nobody's reading the room, right? Like, and I'm like, that's what I needed a character in this movie to do in that scene.
Well, that's what Cersei did. She left.
Yeah, but Cersei doesn't show any emotion because she's not good at acting.
Well, she's yeah. Well, I was gonna say like her character is confused because she's now the new leader and doesn't know what to do.
I guess, but I think she's just confused about what she's doing in the whole movie.
Well, that's just bad writing.
Yeah, and that would be a bad direction. Not knowing how to direct your actors. It bums me out, man. It's a bummer. Because I feel like there was a good movie in here somewhere. Like I said, there's a lot of interesting ideas, but this is just really rough.
Yeah. Some of the flashbacks definitely lasted too long.
Oh yeah, and also they were at really weird spots.
Some of them were, and I think like the Salma Hayek one, I think it made sense that you had to put it there.
Yeah, as like the big reveal of like who the villain is and everything,
Yeah, that Icarus betrayed them, that he's the one that killed her.
Yep, that all made sense. That was fine. Like, that one was good. I was a little bummed we only really had like 2 big historic periods in the movie. Like, this is a movie that's supposed to be traversing like thousands of years, and all we see are like Babylon and some other place that I don't remember. And that's it. Like, we don't get really any other time period. We don't get any medieval times kind of stuff. We don't get like feudal Japan. I guess we see World War II for that hot second where the A-bomb thing goes off, but other than that, nada.
I mean, I guess we don't need it. Well, because at that point the deviants are dead, so there's really no purpose for them.
Well,
going to different areas.
It just would have been nice to see. I don't know. That's the fun type of thing with this kind of movie. Like, if you're gonna make a movie that's a time traversal kind of movie where like these people have lived for thousands and thousands of years, like it'd be nice to actually show some of that. I don't know. Like,
yeah. But that's the problem. It's not really a time traversal movie, though. Like, the only reason we get the flashbacks is to understand the characters more. If it wasn't set in present day, then this should have just been a time traversal type of movie.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I think this movie would have been better just being that. Like, just do the first half being them in the past. So we can get a really big, good setup movie. Where we see them fight the deviants for like an entire film. So you get to build all the deviants up as villains, have the Crow stuff happen in that movie, and then have him be the villain for the second Eternals movie. Boom.
Well, or just have him, like, they're hunting him down.
Yeah, just have him be
they just can't catch him.
Be the main deviant would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, that And again, I also have the whole idea that they should have just done this as a show. Like, you could have done this 10 episodes, 45 minutes each. Each one focuses on a different character of the Eternals. And you get like a really good in-depth backstory of who they are. And then maybe you have an 11th episode that's like the final fight episode or whatever, like, and each episode builds up, like, it's past and present. So you're getting the buildup of like the mystery of the season, and you're getting all this good development of the characters interacting throughout time and history. And like, you can have a part where you have the Black Knight show up, but it's the original one in King Arthur times. Because they even talk about Excalibur in this movie. They just have it. They just have the sword. They just have it, like, in their spaceship. So that's cool, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many other ways I think this could have been done better.
The big thing for me is the structure of the movie.
Yep.
They could have fixed up a lot of that and just shorten it, because that could have really helped too.
Yeah.
Because that's the main thing I kept thinking about when I was going into the movie. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long one to sit through.
They could have cut out like half the Eternals, or like the entire Deviant plot, like one or the other. Like, you could have cut out either one, and it would have saved like a half hour of runtime, easy. I don't know. This movie's just like, there's too much happening. The tone differences are so weird, because it wants you to take it really seriously about like all these issues, like real world stuff, and then it's like a goofy Marvel movie at the same time, like with Icarus punching through tables and people making one-liners left and right. So it's like it's just confusing, and it's like there's no.
Well, I wouldn't think of goofy Marvel stuff. I think just those small scenes. I wouldn't say across the board as a goofy Marvel movie as well as a serious movie. Because I think that's probably like a studio mandate thing, is make sure there's this amount of jokes.
Oh yeah,
in the movie.
I'm sure
that could be a thing. And then, of course, the way they defeat the Celestial by killing it, was. It was just out of nowhere, random. It's just like, oh, we're not putting him to sleep. I could just transform him into.
Oh yeah, I can just turn him into marble or whatever. And also,
yeah,
this was the other part of it. They spend all this time, like almost like 20 minutes of the movie, establishing that they have to get this like special material stuff for the Unimind to create like the wristbands or whatever, right? Like, to set all this stuff up about explaining how it works, and that everyone who's connected to it needs a wristband. And, like, that's, like, a big part of it. And at the end of the movie, they just all connect to it anyway, without wristbands. Like, Icarus doesn't have one. Sprite doesn't have one. Like, they all just connect into it. It's like, what? What? Doesn't make any sense.
Well, they explain it, which is an awful explanation, actually.
Do they? They explained it?
Yeah. Literally, it's Cersei after she kills the Celestial and says, oh, so when a Celestial's being born, all the Eternals on that planet link to it, and shares its power. That's why we survive when the planet explodes.
So why did they even need to make the Unimind? What was the point of that scene?
Well, they didn't know they were going to connect to the Celestial.
So Cersei just figured it out in that moment that's what was happening. Oh my god, yeah. My brain. Yeah. It
was at the moment when she started changing it into stone.
Oh, it's so when she
convenient. Realized, oh, we're all going to connect to it, and then.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's a very awful explanation.
Yeah,
and then
so
she talks
convenient.
to Sprite and says, "Hey, actually, I still have some of this power. I could turn you human if you want."
Oh my god, that was so stupid. I legitimately was. I groaned. I was like, "Are you for real?" That barely built up plot point of Sprite wanting to be a normal person. I was like, "Yeah, okay." Oh boy, yeah. There was a lot of plot contrivances going on in this movie, I think.
Yeah, it's just it's a bummer to see just to see like it's just a mess of a movie,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's oh boy, and I just found
Oh, and
another.
also the fact that Kamal's character isn't even there at the finale.
Oh
He
my
just
god,
leaves.
hilarious! He just is like, "I'm leaving the movie. Bye." Like he just cuts out. It's so funny. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he's like, I'll be
wait,
back. I'll be back for the last like 5 minutes of the movie,
yeah,
but
I'll
I'm
be
not going to
back
be there
once
for
you
the
guys
fight.
figure out all the fighting stuff. I'm just gonna go. And like, okay, so they spend this whole movie like doing this documentary thing, right? And then you never get to see
Yeah.
it.
Well, yeah, of course, because they.
Because
It's
why
not
would
like
you?
they.
You
Yeah.
spend time setting up this whole thing and then you never see it. It's fine. No,
Well,
don't.
because there's no point anymore now that Icarus betrayed them.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Because remember, when they met Kamal, he was making a movie about Icarus, like that. He was his hero, you know.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and it's like, and with Icarus fighting them, he's like, well, the world's gonna end then because we can't beat him. Even if you have me, there's no chance we're gonna beat him.
That's why he left. Yep. Oh boy,
Yeah.
what a dumb movie. Oh my god. I just found there's a news story that just popped up. Breaking news about the Eternals.
Oh.
Anthony Mackie's Captain America was almost in this. He was almost in the post-credit scene, but they took it out, and that's probably a good idea.
Oh.
I don't know how he would have fit. It makes me wonder if maybe he was the guy who showed up to Dane Whitman, but that wouldn't make any
Wouldn't
sense.
No, I think his would just been a separate scene entirely. Maybe he does meet with Dane Whitman because he was with Cersei when she vanished, and then would ask him. It's like, do you know anything that's going on, kind of thing.
I guess.
Yeah.
Another thing I like about this is I really like the look of the Celestials.
Yeah.
I think they're cool. They're very intimidating and very scary, and they've got like a whole thing where they just don't care, and I love it. I'm like, that's pretty much exactly how they should be portrayed. I think they nailed the celestial stuff pretty good. So that was cool. I love that Arishem was voiced by Beast Wars Megatron. That was good old David Kaye voicing that guy,
cool.
which is awesome. Heck of a glow up, like going from Beast Wars Megatron on TV to a freaking Celestial in a Marvel movie. Like, probably one of my favorite aspects of the movie, to be perfectly honest, was that casting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. I dug the visuals of the explanation to Cersei about how the Eternals worked. Like all the robots and stuff, like how they were all like,
Yeah.
they had like similar faces, and it's like, oh, we send the same like 10 of you out to every planet. Like there's just like, it's the same set of 10 people, like over and over again.
Well, but then now we have a problem though with Thanos' brother because he doesn't.
Oh
he
yeah,
doesn't look like
that's not
anybody.
even consistent either. It doesn't matter. Oh no, it's a nightmare. Oh my god.
Well, no, they have to send different people out because, when they wake up in the ship, they know the other Eternals by fame, right? They know Angelina Jolie's character, Thena, because she's like a very strong Eternal. Like there's lore about her. There's lore about Salma Hayek's character.
No, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird. Like I feel like there's no consistency to it. Like they couldn't decide on how they wanted the backstory to be told. It's very strange because visually in the scene where he shows her that they're all robots, she goes up to one and it's definitely her, and there's an entire line of them that are all just her. And I'm like, so it's like, is it the same 10? Because there's also like a line of like sprites and a line of Icaruses, and like, so obviously there's some sort of mass production deal going on, right? But then these particular ones are different or are the same as other ones that have been to other planets, I guess, because Thena can remember those times that happened. Like, I don't
But no, it's not like they send new ones each planet. They resend the Eternals to each planet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then why show the visual of thousands of them, like
Well, because
copies?
they're not the only 10.
It's
It's just
very
weird.
weird. Like there's no. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. There's no real good
Well,
consistency to it.
I guess
Like
that moment, having them having the same faces, kind of makes sense to say like, yeah, you guys aren't even alive. Like you guys are just machines that we use.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
like your cannon fodder, sort of.
Yeah.
But then they're not
Uh,
because they retrieve them all after the Celestial is birthed.
mhm.
Like so they don't just throw them away, but they have thousands of each copy of them for some reason. Like uh ah um
Well, because there could be cases like with Thena where they didn't completely wipe her memory out, so they have to kill her, and then they would have to replace her with another one,
yeah.
right? I guess that's how it would have to go.
Maybe, but they said they could fix her memory thing on the ship, but then it would just erase her memories. Remember,
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's right.
Selma
Yeah, they
Hayek's
would have to
character was
just
like, "Oh, I can just wipe the hard drive and reset." So
yeah,
they
I could
don't
erase
need
your
to. So they
memories.
don't need to eliminate.
Yeah.
Ah, it's like,
Well,
well,
it's either you erase the memories or you just kill them,
I
right?
guess,
That's
yeah.
yeah.
Uh, um,
You know, there was that scene where Salma Hayek was talking to Icarus, and she said, because like we find out like it's once every billion years a new celestial has to be born, and then she says, "I've been doing this to planets for millions of years," right? Saying like she's destroyed planets for millions of years with intelligent life, and now she wants to stop. And it's like, wait, but it's only once a billion years, so the
yeah.
most you
Wait,
could have done is like four.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
confused. Wait. That doesn't make
yeah.
any sense.
I thought that
Um,
part was funny because I'm like, wait, you literally just contradicted
yeah, you said
what you
billions, and
just
now you're
said.
saying millions. Like,
Yeah.
I do not think that word means what you think it means, my friend. Um, I, man,
Yeah.
boy howdy, was this a rough script, I bet. Um, because just us trying to make sense of it right here. Uh, okay, the post-credit scene debate time. Pew 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 pew. Post-credit scene debate time. Welcome to this part. Uh, uh, Eros is Thanos' brother, but they look nothing alike, just like the comic books. But Thanos was originally born in Titan in this universe, and he was a citizen of Titan. And you don't see any of the other people from Titan, but I thought they were gonna look more like Thanos, maybe. Uh,
Yeah.
I guess they don't.
No, but his brother's he's an Eternal though.
But Eros is an Eternal, which means
Yeah.
Eros is a robot. So
Yeah.
that implies that Thanos is also a robot because
Nah,
Thanos is an
I
Eternal,
wouldn't go.
but he's from.
No, I wouldn't call it like they're
But they
brothers. That's what
call
they're
him an
known for.
Eternal in the promotional material. He's an Eternal with deviant syndrome. Like that's like the new
That yeah,
thing
no,
for him.
that makes no sense at all. Because honestly, if that's the case, I don't even know where to go
That's
from
like
there.
his
But
exactly. It doesn't make any sense. Like there's no like
I think they just called Thanos that before thinking they would even do an Eternals movie, and
I
that's where they
guess.
messed up.
Okay, so I just found an article here that's like Thanos is an Eternal, yes, but he's also a deviant. Why? Because genetics. Eternals and deviants are made from the same batch. That means there's eventually some crossover. An Eternal getting deviant-like mutation was later dubbed deviant syndrome, or the way Thanos looks with his purple skin and ridged chin. Of the two sons, he's the only one with this condition. Eros looks like a regular Eternal, something that Thanos naturally hated his brother for. And because the deviant's evilness is tied to their biology, Thanos' appearance freaked out Suisan? Who's that? So much that when she first laid eyes on him after giving birth, she went mad and tried to kill him. But in this universe, the Eternals are robots. How do they give birth? They're all designed and built by the Celestial. What is? I don't. My
Well, but
brain.
that's the comic book origin, though, right?
Yeah,
So that's not going to be the MCU
But
version.
people are. But I think Kevin Feige and people are saying that is how this is connected. Like, that's how they're explaining it in the movie. So they're just, like, totally rewriting Thanos' backstory, which totally undermines the whole reason why he did what he did in the first place. Is this a nightmare? We're living in a nightmare, right? Like, this is... How did this script get okayed? Like, what?
They just needed to backtrack, which I guess they haven't really done.
And then my other question, we've seen a Celestial already, right? Like, we've seen Ego. How does he fit in? Like, because he's obviously not the same as these other Celestials, right? Like...
Yeah, well, there's the dead Celestial, right, for Nowhere.
Yeah, like, he's got, like, just a head floating out in space that they're harvesting everything from. But, like, Celestials have to be birthed out of planets, but Ego started as a brain and then became a planet.
Is that what they said in Guardians?
Yeah, like, he's like, I started as a brain floating in space, and then slowly over the millennia, I learned how to control the matter around me, and I formed myself a protective shell, and then I started to figure out how to take shape. Like, they go into a pretty in-depth explanation in that movie about how everything works with him, and it makes sense. Like, it's well thought out. It's like, it's... Whereas this one is like, they're birthed out of planets, but we don't really fully explain how that works. It just happens. And then you guys are robots, but you can also maybe have kids, and you could be related somehow, but you're robots. I don't know.
Where did the Eternals deviant syndrome thing even come from?
Like, it's just in, like, promotional material. Like, it's not in the movie. Like, they don't ever say it. But but now, because Star Fox shows up at the end of this, Eros, he's confirmed to be an Eternal, and he's Thanos' brother, which means that Thanos is an Eternal.
But I don't think, like the term brother, I think, like, they're just brothers, kind of like Loki and Thor, right? That's what I always thought.
In the comic books, they're directly related. So
yeah, but for the MCU though, that's what I'm thinking for them.
I mean, maybe
blood related.
Maybe, which I really did like seeing Pip the Troll or whatever his name was. I dug that, but
yeah,
I think
that was Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, that was great. His second MCU role, his first being in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Marvel role, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't count anymore.
Yeah. Well, this would be his third Marvel role, actually, right?
Would it?
Yeah, because he was MODOK.
Oh, yeah, he was MODOK in the cartoon, huh?
Mm-hmm.
In the animated show that's out right now. Yeah, I like the characters showing up in the scene. I think it's really cheap how they introduce them, though. Like, it's very on the nose. It's just like, hey, here's who I am, and hey, here's who this guy is, and we are those characters from the comic books that you've read before. Here we are. Like, that's kind of how that scene felt to me.
That scene, yeah.
Yeah. So, not my favorite way of how I would have shown that off. I think Harry Styles looks good, though. I don't know. I don't mind it. Like, he's fine.
Yeah, I guess he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I buy him more as Star Fox than I buy Will Poulter as Adam Warlock, so I guess that's cool. Overall, just kind of a whatever scene. And also, it brings up another question, right? Okay, so Arishem can just go to Earth and pick up Cersei and the other two that are on Earth and just go, whoop, we're leaving. But not Sprite? I guess it's because Sprite's a human now?
Well, because she's a human now.
I guess. Yeah. So... I suppose she gets a pass, but he picks up the other three and he's just like, all right, I'm going to punish you guys for doing this. I'm out. But he doesn't go and pick up the other guys from the spaceship? Like...
Well, he's not punishing them. He's, like you said, he's going to read their memories and see if their judgment was correct or not, and then decide from there.
There's three other people that were involved in that, and they're all on a spaceship somewhere else. And I was like, he can just potentially warp anywhere. He's an omnipotent being. Like, why wouldn't he be able to find the other three on the spaceship? Like, I don't know.
Well, because you need Eternals too for the rescue
Oh no,
movie.
I know you need the second one with the other Eternals in it, but
Yeah.
like, you know, omnipotent being would be able to just go get all of them probably at the same time.
Yeah, he just wanted one trip to Earth, and he didn't want to go anywhere else, I guess.
Ah, lazy. Ah, Airsham, smart but lazy. Just more questions than answers. I think that's what this whole movie is for me. It's more questions than answers. I hesitate to call this even a movie because it doesn't really end. It just kind of sets up for a sequel and then it's over.
Oh, well, I mean, there is the ending. It's them killing the Celestial.
I guess, but even that makes me wonder like how's that going to affect everything else on the planet? Because it sure seems like they just go right back to normal right at the end, and I'm like, wow, that's a big event to have happen and not have anybody talk about it. That's weird.
No, they did. There was that.
There's like a news story
They were
happening
talking
on
about it on the
TV,
news.
but like Sprite just is able to just go off to school. I guess at this point on Earth, it's nothing really surprises anybody anymore. It's like, yeah, okay, weird stuff's just happening. I guess that's sort of why I like Dane Whitman at the beginning, because he's just so like nonplussed about all of the stuff going on with Cersei. He's like, "Oh, so you've just been around for millions of years, and like I know who Icarus is, and I know about your whole family." Like I thought that was really strange. Like it was an interesting way to start it. Like it's just she's dating a character, and she's already revealed all the stuff mostly about her family and everything.
Oh, the Eternal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like that they are Eternals and they've been around for that long and blah blah blah. Like it's kind of neat to just kind of have it be like a thing of like this is just how it is and that's just deal with it. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I can live with that. Like that's fine. I think they just overcomplicated it with a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, you mean like with the reveal of them being puppets and
Yeah,
they're
just
there for the destruction of the planet rather than protect them?
yeah, just really strange. Just yeah.
I thought that that's a standard twist when it comes to those type of characters. Like I wasn't surprised like with Icarus being like the quote unquote villain by
Oh
the
yeah,
end.
no,
It's like no,
nothing
because that's his character type.
nothing
Yeah.
about it was surprising, but it was the pathway they took to get to all that stuff that was just really strange.
I mean, other than that, all I have to really say is I don't know. I guess I was surprised it had a low box office weekend. Like it's the lowest one from the MCU.
Yeah, what is it? It's lower than the original Ant-Man opening weekend deal, right?
Yeah, yeah, because Ant-Man was the lowest. Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy because Ant-Man is so much better than this movie. Oh my God, it's like night and day. Man, I wanted this movie to actually be kind of decent too. I was pretty bummed. I can't lie about how this movie turned out.
Yeah, I definitely won't be thinking about this or rewatching it.
I was hoping like there would be the one good Black Knight scene that would keep me coming back, right? That it's like, okay, that's the scene I can come back and watch. And they don't even have that in the movie. No Black Knight, no nothing. It's like yeah, just watch the Eternals, the 10 characters we've set up, and don't really give too much screen time to anything or anybody. I really wish there was like half the characters in this because I think James Gunn found the sweet spot with doing like 5 people. But you know what? James Gunn's also really good at handling ensembles. You know, like Suicide Squad
Yeah.
had like 8 characters on the main team, and they still all had better development than anybody in this movie. And I don't know if that's an acting thing, if it's a directing issue, or if it's just a writing problem. Like I don't know where the problem lies. Maybe it's all three. Maybe it's like a combination of all the things.
Well, I mean, the thing with these characters is there's nothing to develop, right? The only one that has to develop is Cersei, really, because she has to go into this role where she's the leader now.
But she
But
barely
even
even
then,
does
that doesn't
that.
do anything.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
there's nothing changes. Like,
I mean, the only character with real character development had to be Thena because she overcomes her mind collapsing from her own memories.
but is that like a character development thing, or is that just like a plot point? Like, how does that really
Yes.
change her as a character? Like, like that
Yeah.
she's still the same person before and after that happens.
I mean, that's really everybody in the movie. They're still the same before and after it happens.
nothing alters or changes about any of the characters. Like things happen to them, but they don't change because of it at all.
Well, because I mean, most of the movie is spent on a journey of, hey, let's go get the gang back together. We might have to fight some deviants here and there, and then boom, surprise twist, we have to fight one of our friends. Some of them die, some of them just don't want to be in the last fight, and that's kind of it. I mean, I guess what's his name, Phasmos?
Oh, Fastos?
Fastos, he would be the only one, I guess, because he, when we got in his flashback, he's like, I hate humanity, I give up on them.
Yeah, he gets one of those cool off-screen arcs. Yeah, he gets endgamed. Because we don't get to see that happen. We don't see him find a husband and like forge a relationship.
I don't think we need to, though. Not with this kind of ensemble and like how much time we have in the movie.
Yeah. See, like if this was the TV show that I wanted this to be, that would be the episode. Would be Fastos having it happen at the beginning that like his technology is used to blow up Japan. Which is crazy that still happens in this universe. Like that's really weird.
What, World War II?
Yeah, well, just like the atom bomb in general. Like, I feel like World War II, I guess it would have gone largely the same way.
Yeah.
Maybe, because Captain America wasn't around, I suppose.
Yeah, I think history, for the most part, just doesn't get touched.
Yeah, I guess it would run pretty much the same way until the 80s when Ant-Man finally shows up.
Yeah, if this were to be a show, the way I would have it is kind of the same structure where we have to go recruit everybody.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how it would be.
That's how the episode starts, and then the rest of that episode until the end is just what did this Eternal do during the 500 years? Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Like that would have been such a fun show to watch, and it would have been great on Disney Plus. I think it would have been fine. I don't see any of the special effects in this movie being anything Disney Plus couldn't do after like what they did with Loki, Like maybe like the Superman flight scenes. You'd have to cut those back a bit, but I
mean the deviants as well.
But maybe change the lookup of them. Don't just have them be the same tendril mutant monsters that are in like everything right now, because they reminded me so much of like the Demogorgon from Stranger Things and like the monsters that are in the Tomorrow War and like
it's like an American monster design.
Yeah, it's the Cloverfield monster. And I'm like, that's fine, but like we could have more.
Yeah, I can say you could probably make this an 8-episode series.
Oh yeah, easily. And I think it's just you'd have so much more time to explore these characters and really develop them, and because like this has like it's like just scratching the surface of all of these ideas and concepts, and it's just like it's such a bummer to just have it just be that. Because I'm like I dig a lot of the ideas that this movie like puts forward. I'd love for that stuff to be more prevalent, or maybe just focus on like 2 or 3 things instead of like 10 things that are going on, like.
But it's not really 10 things though, right? It's just the flashbacks, deviants, celestials, and that's kind of really it.
Oh, and then we're dealing with like the love, and then we're dealing like with the betrayal of Icarus and the relationship between him and Cersei, and like the slight love triangle between him, Cersei, and Jon Snow, and then there's like the love story between Thena and the other guy, and then there's the other love story between the mind control guy and the super speed lady, and then there's the other love triangle of Sprite liking Icarus also, and then there's like.
Yeah, well, I guess I would just categorize that as like all in one thing of like this is just the characters' personal stories.
And that's the stuff that I think needed more time to be able to explore, or maybe don't have so many of them.
I mean, for sure, the Cersei Icarus stuff we probably should have expanded a little bit more on that. Like
they are the main characters instead of just having a hot and heavy scene, which is like, yeah, it's fine, but like I didn't learn anything from this.
Yeah, because we don't know anything until we get the flashback when Icarus found out the truth, and he tells Salma Hayek like, "Hey, I can't keep this from Cersei. Like, I'm gonna have to leave. I can't be with her because I'm gonna tell her because I love her so much." But that's like
Yeah.
almost at the end of the movie when we get that.
Yeah,
Um,
and like all the other stuff is just we like each other because we're both pretty looking, good looking, eternal people, I guess. And we love all the humans, so we love each other.
yeah, it
Yay!
was love at first sight.
There's
Yeah.
no connection there. It'd be different if like during like the fight scenes or something, like they had like little looks at each other or like they helped each other out in very specific ways. But you only see Cersei use her powers like twice in the whole movie.
Well, I mean, like when they first locked eyes, that's when he knew.
I
Right on the
guess.
ship. That was the moment.
Oh yeah, because it's a Disney movie. But it's like that scene. I guess that's what you can take from that scene. To me the acting was totally bland to the point where I didn't really buy it. Uh, it was like watching a couple of 2x4s have a good time. That's how I felt about it,
Well, yeah, I mean, they really don't get personality until the present day.
or at all. In the whole, even in the past. Um,
Well, aside from Cersei and Icarus, yeah.
well, I don't think I think Cersei and Icarus have scenes, but I don't feel like I got any personality from them.
No, yeah, I'm saying excluding those two, everybody else has a personality.
Yeah, to an extent. I wouldn't say Thena's personality is too strong. I think hers is
Oh
pretty.
yeah, I guess not hers either. Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Well, because she's supposed to be the warrior type, so it's not like
well,
they're supposed to be expressive.
I saw a lot of people praise Angelina Jolie's acting, and I'm like, it was all right, I guess. I don't know, like,
I don't think there was anything there to really, show like her acting chops that she has.
yeah, she was honestly pretty whatever to me.
I mean, the only thing I guess I could think of where she acts differently is when she's scared in the forest.
Yeah, and like, oh wow, she can act scared. Okay, cool. I don't know. It's not like I haven't seen this type of performance out of her before. Um, like she had more attitude and personality as Laura Croft than she did in this movie. I think personally.
Yeah, I mean, I like Thena. I think she's a good character. If you can
Yeah,
expand more on her, especially now that she's not, freaking out all the time.
yeah. I guess her brain is just fixed now. Did Cersei fix it? Is that what happened? Like what? Or did it
No,
just fix itself? It just
um,
fixed itself.
you could say because she got some of her, she was being drained from the deviant for a little bit, and then he killed her, or she killed him.
Oh yeah, I guess
So I
that fixed
guess
it.
you could say it's there.
I guess. Sure, yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, yeah,
Well, because
100%.
I guess the thing with it, right, is that it's clashing with her current memories, because there's just too much there,
Yeah,
and she just had to overcome it somehow. I guess that's what you would
I
they would
guess.
explain it.
All they had to say was that Cersei could fix it right at the end. That's it. Like, oh, because you were connected to the Unimind, it was fixed or something.
But it was fixed before that, anyways.
Oh, was it during the fight? I
Hmm.
guess. Like
Yeah, she was
between.
fine. Because the last time where that was a problem was in the Mexican forest, and then
No,
after
I thought it came back one more time when she was fighting Crow in the cave because she like goes wide-eyed again in the cave because he starts
oh
talking
yeah,
like the guy that she was in love with.
that's
Yeah.
true too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but it got fixed in that cave. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Sure. Yeah, I got fixed in there. Why not?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You know what? We don't got enough time. We got 2.5 hours and we still don't have enough time for this story.
Well, I mean, I guess she figured out a way to stop it from happening without him,
I guess.
right? Because they had to do the whole Hulk Natasha thing
Oh
to
yeah,
bring her back.
because this movie just likes to have other movies in it.
The MCU likes to reference itself a lot.
Yeah, and this one was I felt like this was reused ideas more than references a lot in this movie. But that's just me. Well, I didn't like the Superman joke. Thought that was pretty dumb. Same with the Batman joke. Thought those were both pretty silly.
Oh, I don't even remember the Batman joke.
Yeah, they referenced Batman in there.
Was it after the Superman one with
No,
the
it's
kid?
before it. It's earlier. I think it's like
Oh,
around the time Dane Whitman and Sprite and everybody are hanging out, like near the beginning somewhere in there.
oh yeah. I don't think I caught the
I think
Batman
like
one.
Dane says something like, "What are you, Batman or something?" And she's like, "No," or I like something. It's something to that effect.
I mean, I will say the Superman one wasn't as awful as I thought it was.
Yeah, I just didn't like it. Yeah, I was just like, I don't even need it. Like, just don't bring the awareness to it right now. I didn't like it. I don't know.
Oh, the Batman thing was somebody being called Alfred.
Oh, that's what it was. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the Indian
Oh yeah.
guy.
Yeah. He was like Alfred. It's like that's me.
So yeah, that's the thing, I guess.
Right. Well, other than that, I really don't have much else to say about this movie.
Yeah, I don't. I kind of exhausted my steam, I think, on this one. I don't really know. Overall, I just didn't like it. I think that's where it ends.
Yeah, I definitely will not rewatch this at all.
No, I'm never gonna come back to this. I don't think anybody needs to. It's pretty unnecessary. Doesn't fit in with anything else going on right now that the MCU is doing. Because it's like, how does this even fit at all with like
Oh, like with multiverse
the
stuff.
multiverse stuff and Kang and all of that? And I'm like, are the
Well, I mean
Celestials?
now this is gonna be going to the cosmic side of things, so that's where Guardians is, and
I guess, but Kang's stronger than all of it, so it's like, who cares? Like, I don't care about any of this, which sucks. Because I should. But I feel like maybe they played Kang too early.
yeah, I mean we'll see with Ant-Man 3 what they're gonna
Yeah,
do with him after that.
and that's like what, in 3 years, 2 years? That's in 2023. Is that right? That's
Is
one of the
it
ones that got pushed back?
2023? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll wait for you for more spoiler stuff. But yeah, I did watch My Hero, the third movie that came out,
Cool.
and I enjoyed it. It's a great animated film. I am bummed out about a few things that happen in there, but other than that, the rest is great. They do a fantastic job with the animation. They really play with camera angles and camera movement a lot,
Sweet.
and that was pretty cool.
They're
Yeah,
using that budget, baby. Using that budget. I like it.
yeah. I think if you're a My Hero fan, it's enjoyable for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't think it's as I don't think it could top the second movie though, because the second movie is just too good. But it's still
Yeah,
up there.
that fake finale that we had to the show in the second movie.
Yeah, so go see it while you can if it's still in theaters out
Yep.
there.
I know it's still in theaters currently around my area, so I'm definitely gonna check it out soon. Yeah, but that
Well,
sounds
all
like
right.
a good time. Sounds like fun.
Well, all right, Jake. While you go see that movie, man, where can people find you at?
You guys can find me anywhere on the internet at Corruption Cosplay with K's. I'm gonna be going to the Hawkeye premiere next week. The U.S. Premiere event. They just premiered it in the U.K., so they got to see it a little early. And I'm really excited about it because it's just gonna be a fun, just goofy Christmas show. And you know what? After this Eternals fiasco, I think that's all I need in my life. Is a goofy superhero Christmas show with Hawkeye just trying to get home for Christmas. I'm excited. It's going to be a great time. Got a whole planned thing. I printed out some posters of Jeremy Renner from my old junior college that I used to go to because we went to the same junior college, and he starred
Oh, hey.
in our junior college's production of Wizard of Oz. So
Oh,
there's a
cool.
very silly picture of him in scarecrow makeup on this poster, and I'm going to take it with me to the premiere and see if I can get him to sign it, because that
That'd be
might be
great.
fun. And I printed out a second copy so I can give it to him, so I can be like, remember where you came from, buddy. And then otherwise, I'm pretty excited because me and Danny have been confirmed. You will be seeing us at LA Comic Con. We both just got our press confirmation, so we'll be there live, Marvel Talk live at LA Comic Con.
Yeah, great time, man. First con in a long time.
Oh yeah, like what, 2 years almost?
Yeah, the last one we went to was ALA 2019.
Or was it 2020? Was it right at the beginning of the year?
Actually, yeah, 2020.
Yeah, we went to run right at the beginning of 2020, so almost a year and some change away
Yeah,
from
almost
that
2
one.
years.
We
Yeah.
are we are about to go to another convention, and we might be able to even get some cool Q&A stuff this time for the show. So who knows? If we get to talk to people, we'll put it up here, I think. And anyway, I think that's about it. But otherwise, Danny, where can we find you?
As always, you could find me anywhere on social media at Negator7. A bunch of edits on Instagram, and then I do stream here and there over on Twitch with the same handle, Negator7.
Cool.
And then, of course, for the podcast, that's at Marvel Talk Cast on Instagram. And then Marvel Talk Podcast at gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments, what are your thoughts on Eternals? Would love to hear that.
Yeah, if you can answer any of the questions I had in this review, I'd love that. That would be great. Please help me to understand this movie better, because I left the theater very confused. So yeah, that would be cool.
We'll be sure to bring those up on the next episodes, and we'll try to get that to you soon. All right, so thank you for listening, guys, and as always,
Eternals assemble.